Capacity we use to measure, it's like measuring liquid things because it's really hard to take a foot of water or to get 6 inches of water. So it's like liquid measurements here.
Oh, I
And again, as with other things, the good old United States of America uses this U.S. customary system. A very difficult system indeed, but we love it, so we stick with it. Sort of thick or thin. And you've heard all these things before, but we'll jot them down there. There are 16 ounces that equal a pint. Why is it not giving us a cup here?
Isn't it cups?
No, 16 ounces equals a pint. No, and I don't know why the book gives this to us. Let's do this. There are 8 ounces in 1 cup. 16 ounces in a pint. 2 pints equal a quart. And 4 quarts equals 1 gallon. And unfortunately, children,
Yeah.
alright, shunning is accomplished.
Yay.
Hopefully we'll have some peace and quiet. And this is kind of our modern day world. Okay, this is realistically a cup. Okay, believe it or not, it is also the same size as your little milk carton that you get. But if you look on the milk carton, it doesn't say a cup. You look at the little thing there, and I don't know why they do this either. Anybody know what it says? You know, because they list you how much you get in the little milk carton. It says there. Does anybody know what it says on a milk carton? Come on, some of you. How many of you drink milk every day?
True US dairy.
No, it tells you how much is there, but it doesn't say a cup. It tells you it is. And maybe they're trying to get away with cups. I don't know. Caleb,
I don't know, but can I go get some more paper?
please. What does it say there? It doesn't say it's a cup. Cotter, it says, or Ryan, it says.
Does it say half a pint?
It does say half a pint.
Wow.
But that's what a cup is a half of a pint. But back in the day, this used to probably be enough liquid for anybody. And maybe it went back to the days when, you know what, back in the day you couldn't just go to the faucet and turn it on. You know, when they made this system, youngins such as yourself would have to go down to the river stream, get your big bucket of water, carry it up to the house and do whatever. So water was probably a little bit more valuable back then. You know, people didn't probably drink as much because it was really hard to get that much. But you know, you probably can't even go into McDonald's and buy a true cup of pop anymore because they don't sell it that small. I think the smallest one they sell is probably 12 ounces, which is really a cup and a half. So we've kind of, in our American society of excess, you know, you go to Shell and you get Mrs. Stone's Polar Pop there. How many ounces is that?
16.
Oh, no.
24.
It is 44 ounces, I believe. Okay, which is the equivalent of about, you know, you're getting up to almost 6 cups, which is 6 times more than people probably drank, you know, 60, 70 years ago. Okay, but these are the units that we use. Probably the most popular ones, obviously, is the gallon. There's 4 quarts in a gallon. We don't use. I don't know of many things that come in quarts anymore. We used to get a quart of milk. You might get a quart of ice cream. I don't know. You don't even get. You're supposed to get. Back in the day, it used to be a half a gallon of ice cream, which was 2 quarts. But now you look at it, they've kind of shrunk that. You get the same pay the same amount, but now it's only like a quart and a half or something like that.
You stink. We want our ice cream.
And then we have the obviously the better system, which is the metric system way of measuring liquid. Again, they keep it very simple and very a piece of cake there. There is just 1,000 milliliters
That's super complicated.
equals 1 liter. Okay. And to get kind of a comparison there, 1 liter is very close to a quart, kind of equal to a quart. And you see probably the thing that you see the most are those 2 liter things of pop. And the 2 liter bottles are the bigger the bottles of pop that you go in. Sometimes you get them for 99 cents, but usually they're $1.59 now. But that's 2 liters. The little bottles that you get, how big are the plastic pop bottles, the little ones that you buy at the store, maybe for like $1.50?
How many are they?
They're usually like 20 ounces, aren't they, or something like that,
No,
which is a little bigger than.
60.
Sometimes you can buy half liter, or you can buy 1 liter bottles, or whatever, but that's neither here nor there. So those are kind of the measurements that you need to use. They're gonna ask you questions like this. A gallon is how many quarts, and you've already got that, that's not very hard one. But what is a half of a gallon? How many quarts is a half a gallon?
How many quarts?
And again, it's kind of good to think, let's draw this up here. Draw this with me just because this helps. You got a big blank piece of paper there?
No. I got it.
I used to have Mr. Gallon up here, but I'm gonna draw this for you.
Sister.
Draw a big box, and this is our gallon.
Can we just draw this on the back side of it?
Sure.
Ooh, yay.
And then inside your gallon, a gallon is made up of 4 quarts. So let's draw 4 rectangles that take up each about this much space. Okay, these are all quarts. We'll just go QUTS. And then inside every quart, it's split into, how many pints are in a quart? 2. So inside every quart, if you could split that into 2 quarts into 2 pints. PT, PT, PT. And the nice thing about this is if I asked you how many pints are in a gallon, you can just take a look at this and say, well, how many pints did you draw? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 pints in a gallon. Yep, we got one more. Then inside every pint there are 2 cups.
Coffee.
So cup, cup, yeah, which makes 16 cups in a gallon. By the way, there's a big hubbub here going on lately about how packages are labeled. Because, we're all on this health craze kind of stuff. You go and you get a big bottle of pop, okay, and they'll tell you how many calories are in, a serving of the pop, which is, for them a serving is 8 ounces of pop, and nobody drinks 8 ounces of pop, everybody drinks like whatever. So there's a big push to actually change serving size to what we really drink. So, how many cups? There are 16 cups in a gallon. I'm not wondering if this Alex Cabron thing might be a bad idea. See, Madison?
Do we ever draw some of the
Was you what? I didn't know what?
Do we have to draw this on the paper to ask us like this type of thing?
What is who?
Do In our, like.
Oh, no, this is just a reference thing for you to look at, you don't have to draw this every time you ask a question, no. So, but the nice thing is this, if they ask you anything about a half a gallon, all you have to do is look at your sheet and just look. Why do I have this color? Can't we get a decent color? And just look at only half of your thing, and that would be, if I asked you how many quarts are in a half a gallon, there's just 2. If I asked you how many pints are in a half a gallon, there's 4. If I asked you how many cups are in a half a gallon, there's 8. If I asked you how many cups are in a fourth, you cut this, there's 1/4. If I asked you how many cups are in a fourth of a gallon, 4. How many quarts? 1. So you can look at this and go back and do that. And see, this probably doesn't sound that hard to you, but what you have to remember is we have a whole bunch of measurements that are smaller than a cup. What are the measurements for liquid we use there? When your mom's baking, she doesn't always put a cup of stuff in there. Okay, she does what, Maggie? You got teaspoons, you got tablespoons,
You get a dash.
you got a dash, you got a spritzer, or whatever.
What's a spritzer? Exactly.
Sprinkle.
A sprinkle of something or, yeah, because you have to split that down. I don't know how many, I can't remember how many tablespoons are in a cup. There's a bunch. Or how many teaspoons or whatever. There's a bunch. 16 maybe or something like that.
I was not around here.
Well, sometimes I might see it.
Anyway, that should get you pretty much